everybody, we're back again with another SUPboarder video and another Naish wingsurfer video. We've done every single Naish wingsurfer that they've brought out. This is the new Matador LT. We reviewed the previous Matador last year. Remember, just to recap, the Matador is the powerful wing that's designed to get you out in the surf, getting upwind, getting you riding back downwind again, but we also found it a pretty good free ride wing as well, especially if you're that more mid-weight to heavyweight rider. But where does the new LT sit? Does it sit directly alongside the Matador? That's what we're going to be speaking about in this video. Were pretty much the first brand to market with wingsurfers. They came out with the S24 back in the day. We've done the S25, the S26, we've done the Matador, and then we've done the Matador LT. Have I forgotten any in there? No, I don't think so. But this is the newest version wing, designed, they say, to get you into surf and wave riding. Now, let's not beat around the bush. This Matador LT compared to the Matador standard version is very, very similar. The outline shape of the wing is exactly the same. The tube sizes of the wing, as far as we understand, are exactly the same. But there are some real little tweaks that they have done which do give you an extra level of performance. You can probably guess one of them straight away. Yes, there is no window with the LT. Windows actually do make a massive difference to your wing riding performance, with the weight of the wing and actually how it feels when you're actually holding it in the air. This wing in all the sizes is going to be lighter than the current Matador. The LT, by dropping the window, is going to reduce that weight of the overall wing. We'll speak about how it performs in a minute, but let's talk about the sizes that the wing is now available in. The Matador LT is available in a 3 meter, a 4 meter, a 5 meter, and a 6 meter, which is what was missing from the original Matador back last year. A lot of the more heavyweight riders who still wanted more power were like, well, I've only got a 5 meter, I need more power. And they've answered that with the new LT of being available in a 6 meter this year as well. The materials and the fabric are exactly the same to the original Matador. You still have your triple ripstop nylon. We've always found the materials in the Naish wings really good quality, and we have been using them quite a lot over the years, as I've said, and we've never actually damaged any of the Naish wings so far. The reinforcing strips and the patches that are on this new LT are in exactly the same places of the original Matador, so you still have Kevlar reinforcing around the wingtips, and there's some extra reinforcing going up the main wingtip, and you've still got some reinforcing around the back main central rib strut. You've got your central handle up at the front here, which is for transporting it down to the water's edge, or if you're wave riding and surfing, you're going to be using that quite a lot. They call it flagging the wing, or I call it parking the wing. You just sort of hold it there, do your surf riding. You'll notice that instead of having multiple handles this year, they've dropped them down to 3 larger handles. So they're much bigger. They still sort of cover the same sort of amount of area, but you haven't got to get your hands in each individual handle to make your fine-tuning movements. Now, I actually find this is really nice, and especially nice when you're transitioning and you're going through your jibes, because you can just reach up and grab any handle. You could do that with the other one with the multiple handles, but it's just a little bit easier having a bigger, longer handle to grab and go for, and it's very easy to shoot your hand along the handle just to get a bit more fine tuning much quicker. So it's just a bit easier to use because of that. No doubt also because they've dropped those extra handles, I would say at a guess it's probably brought the weight down as well because of that. The other handles that they've dropped altogether this year, you don't get them with the LT at all, is the Y-strut handles. The original Matador used to come across to here, and you could have Y-strut handles, and then you could also take those off to make the central handles bigger. That was a neat little feature. Me personally, I never used Y-strut handles, and I don't know if many of you out there did. There probably is a few of you that say, no, they've taken the Y-strut handles off, but I don't see it's a real problem, and to be honest, it's just going to bring the weight down of the wing again. The panel work and the way they've laid out all their panels and all the stitch work is exactly the same to the previous Matador. So that's all the same, and even the stitch work down the main bladders and all the stitch work here on the main leading edge, that's all exactly the same. Nice neoprene patch here under the main handle, so when you're holding it for long periods of time, your knuckles aren't going to rub across the main stitch seam. That's a nice little feature. You've still got your coiled leash that they came with last year, and you've still got a single inflation point with this, so you can pump it up just here on the leading edge with your standard inflatable paddleboard pump, if you've got one of those, and it pumps up both the tubes in one go with this connecting valve just here. You do not get a pump as standard with the package, but you do get a comfortable bag, and because it's got no window, easy to get the wing in. It's no problem at all rolling this wing up. You've got no sort of technique, you can basically just shove it in the bag, which for some of you paddleboarders out there, maybe wanting a wing to go paddleboarding with, this could be a good wing to look at because there's no window, so you could be shoving it in the bottom of your touring bag, maybe even taking it SUP touring. Price points for the wing, you can see the 3 metre there starts at £689, the 4 metre is £749, and the 5 metre is £779, with the 6 metre this year coming in at £859. You can get these wings in two colours. You can get them in the orange colour, which is what I've got here, and you can also get it in the original red colour, which is the same as the Matador we tested last year. So let's have a look at what the Matador was like last year and what this new Matador does in the same way. It still has a huge amount of power and low down power as well. It really is designed for getting you and pushing you upwind. So if you're a surf rider, you're going to be coming in on the wave, riding downwind, and then you're going to be making ground back upwind. Or if you're going into wing downwinding, you're probably going to be trying to get back up to the start of your session at the end as well. So it's got to have a lot of upwind capability. The good thing about having that is it means it has a good amount of shape in here. Now, a good deep profile. The deep profile also is going to make sure you have a lot of power to the wing. So not only is it going to give you a good upwind performance, it's also going to give you good performance in for that moderate to heavyweight person who wants a bit more power for the size of wing that they've got. This is exactly the same with the last year's Matador. This Matador is just a little bit more performance driven compared to last year's Matador. Because they've removed the window this year, you're going to have a lot less stretch in the actual wing. Any sort of window at the present stage, they might change this in the future, that you have in your wing is a different sort of tension and fabric stretch to like this ripstop nylon. So by putting a big PVC panel in there, it's going to stretch and it's not going to be very crisp or offer you a load of power because it's going to give a lot more. Some people might actually like that feeling when you start off. You might want a wing that has a little bit more give. But if you want power and you want to get up in lighter winds especially, you're going to have to drop that window at the moment. That might all change in the future with new technologies and materials coming out, but definitely by removing the window, you get a lot more direct power. And also it does bring the weight down of the wing as well. So because of that, this wing is very, very easy to throw around. I've had a few surf sessions with this. I've had some flat water sessions with this. Will's also had some flat water sort of stroke freestyle sessions with this. This wing is very, very comfortable to move around quickly. It's very, very balanced when you go into the jibe. It rotates nice and easily. That's because there isn't much weight on the back edge here. So the wind just helps pull the wing around. But in the surf, you really notice how well it just maneuvers and it's light and easy. For example, if you're riding in a choppy, wavy area and maybe you're going into a jibe on the inside, you've got a lot of white water coming in, you've got to try and work your way over that white water, think about the foil all the time. You haven't got time to really be thinking about the wing very much. You want the wing to just do what it should do and just stay light and turn around and be easy in your hands. And that's what the new Matador LT does. I think the old Matador, to be honest, did do a lot of that, but the new LT just does it a little bit quicker, and it's just a little bit lighter and easier to move around. Obviously the downside compared to last year's, it hasn't got a window, so you can't see as well. If you're going to be using it in a busy area with any more than a few wingers or surfers in the water, definitely look at the one with the window. It's going to give you a lot more ease of use, and it's going to be a lot safer. But for me, a lot of time I wing on my own or in a big open area, big open beaches. I do not need windows unless I'm going to randomly come across the odd seal. It still has that great surf performance, so when you're parking the wing, when you're flagging the wing, you can just ride endless waves whether you're going upwind or downwind, and it's because it's even lighter, I think, it's a little bit easier than the original Matador, but only very slightly. But there is one thing that we will say about the Matador and the LT: don't rule these wings off as free ride blasters as well. Yes, Naish do say these are their wave wings. Completely agree with them, they are. But also, if you're that mid to heavyweight rider, you want a powerful wing and you're just into blasting back and forth, maybe trying a few jumps, the Matador LT is going to be a very comfortable wing for you. You've got the other wings on the market. We're going to review a new, can I say it? Wing surfer soon. But it sits at a very different place to the Matador. The Matador still has that low end power, so even if you're a free rider, a flat water winger, but you're mid to heavyweight, definitely I would push you towards a Matador original or a Matador LT. But obviously the difference is LT, a bit more performance and no window, so if you're winging on your own, it's much better. So now let's talk about some cons for the new Matador LT. They're very similar cons to last year's wing, believe it or not. One of them, and I bet you're going to guess what I'm going to say, this leash. We still don't like coiled leashes at SUPboarder. We still don't like the surf style leashes at SUPboarder. If you're one of these people who likes them, which I imagine there is a few out there, then this is a really nice leash. Us personally, we hate this style of leash. It gets kinked in the surf, it puts knots in it like this, then you're constantly trying to pull it out, and as soon as it gets stretched out, if you've had a big surf impact and the wing's pulled away from you, after a few of those stretches, it's not going to regain itself and you're going to have to kink your leash up and reset its coiled nature. Never been a fan of coiled leashes, and this is probably one of the worst ones in the market. That's our personal preference. The other negative, which is a pro and a negative, on one side it's really quick and easy to inflate with one inflation point. Nice and easy. But the downside is when you go to get that air out, all the air's got to come back through this tube here. And if you roll your wing up incorrectly, you can easily just lock this tube or kink the tube and the air won't come out. A real pain, so you've got to put your hand into the sort of scrunched up wing, straighten the tube out, and then the air will just come out. If the wing had a dump valve somewhere on the main rib down here, you can get that air out really quickly. If you've been winging a few times and you've got this sort of system, you will know exactly what I mean. If you're in a rush to get back from the beach to pick the kids up, this is a pain in the backside. But when it comes to pumping it up, getting on the water, it's super quick and easy. But bringing some pros in here and giving you a summary of the new Matador LT. The LT is a better wing than the Matador. Only just though, it's not a massive amount of difference, but it is a better wing. It's lighter, it's a bit easier to throw around, the handles are much nicer, and the lack of window does make the wing a little bit more responsive with the canopy tension. Definitely if you're that mid heavyweight rider and you're after a powerful wing for its size, the Matador LT or the original Matador is still one of the best wings on the market for that. If you're going to get into surf, wave riding, bump catching, this is a very good wing. Really happy to use this in the water, but don't underestimate it for your flat water blasting as well if you're that moderate to heavyweight rider. The price point is sitting up there with some of the top wings on the market. I do think it's worth it, and for having a 6 meter now, if you want even more power, that wing is there. So Naish have listened to you customers asking for a bigger wing than a 5. I do think the Matador LT is that more performance wing that a lot of you are really going to get a lot out of in 2022. Hope you found this video useful. Definitely questions and comments if you've got this wing. Let us know your feedback. Get your feedback on the main SUPboarder post. Let us know your full review and all of that good information. We can make sure we get back to Naish so they can improve their products into the future. We've got some other great Naish videos coming out soon as well. We're going to be reviewing the new Mark IV, I still don't know if I can say that or not, wing coming out soon, and we're going to be looking at the complete foil range from Naish, and we're going to be focusing on the new MA foil, which is a new foil which sits in between the jet, sort of more low aspect ratio, and the HA, the high aspect ratio. That's going to be a really interesting video. So any questions or comments, let us know. Thank you very much, and we'll see you on another video real soon.